Hello and good morning. I'm sorry, good afternoon, beautiful souls. My name is Hannah, aka Holistically Hannah, coming to you with a message, with a little empowerment. Um, so, for those of y'all who have been here, thank you. For those of y'all who are new, welcome. Um, the goal of this video is well, all my videos are to talk to you guys about things that I've experienced, things that I've observed, and ways to make ourselves better. Um, Nobody's perfect. Nobody's, you know, has everything, right? And for me, when I go through something, I have this habit of making myself the only person who's been through it, the only person who's struggling, the only person who just can't figure it out. And that's so not true. So the whole purpose of this channel is to help people holistically live their best lives. And yeah, so please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Even if you don't like it, give me the feedback. I'm not scared. We're going to figure it out. um, but today, I want us to come to you guys and talk to you about keeping it simple. Okay? So I know for me, okay, when I want to do something or when spirit gets to me and my energy is high and I'm excited, I want to do everything at once, right? I want to change the world. I want to buy all the clothes. I want to remodel my apartment. I can't just do something small. If I need a self-care day, I got to go out to eat. I got to go to the spa. I got to go see my friends. No. You know what I mean? Even with work. When we want to accomplish something, I feel like sometimes we put too much on ourselves. So no matter what you're doing or what you're going through, break that shit down into chunks and keep it simple. Okay? For me, I know that our intentions sometimes are really good and high, and we want to get these things done. And then when we have that burst of energy or that, I have ADHD, so that's something I struggle with. Let me know in the comments if you have it as well. um, but because I have that, I tend to be scattered sometimes, or I tend to want to fix everything at once, and it's not possible, and it's not fair because what the energy you're putting into that thing or that person or that situation isn't going to be as great as it could have been if you would have broke it down into chunks and focused on that one thing at a time. Or made it smaller so that you could, like I said, in those chunks, do it little by little. You know what I mean? Because one thing I've learned is that when you do something too fast, or you grow too fast, or you move too fast, sometimes you end up spending more time going back fixing a thing, or even talking too fast. When people say, they may ask you a question, and it's something you really don't know. Well, you like, and you trying to be, big or not keep it simple and say yes, and then you come to find out it's something that you really can't handle or you really don't give a fuck about doing. It's always okay to say, give me a second. It's always okay to say, this is too much for me to put on my plate right now. How can you help me to be successful in this? And that might be a work thing, but it also for me is with my friends. Instead of me trying to be all extravagant and look into somebody's inner thoughts and keep it simple. What's going on? What you talking about? I don't understand. Or that thing that you said made me feel the way. I can even talk about working out. Again, I have had to learn that my ADHD, I've always known it, but it really will cause me to say fuck it and not do anything. So what works best for me is breaking things down into small increments. So when I read, I'll give myself 25 minutes or 30 minutes to read. Cool. And if I get through it, great. If I don't, at least I try to say, okay, this is the amount of time that I read for today. Let me try to add that into what I missed into tomorrow's reading. Or like with working out. I know for me, the biggest struggle that I have is dreading going to the gym or doing yoga for an hour. I'm not doing this shit. Even 30 minutes sometimes is too much for me. So if I had 15 minutes, I give myself 15 minutes. And I've still accomplished the thing. So I say all these things to say, don't put yourself in a state of overwhelm. Even in your relationships, like with your partner, I have a very close colleague that I work with, and her husband were going through some things, and she's in a process, like, my girl's older, she's like in her late 50s, and she's been married to this man for over 20 years. And she's changing. She's growing. And she's like, well, this is how it's been, and I can't handle it that way, and I need this, and I need that. And I said, well, hold on. Hold on. Because everything you're saying is right. But if you've been letting somebody do the same thing for 20 years, For you to come in one day and just say, all of this needs to change today, be real. You got to break that shit down. You got to keep it simple. And when we kept talking about it, and she would come to me, and I was like, well, write down, what are the 3 things, give me 3 things that you really want to change in your relationship, right? And she wrote it out, and I said, well, give them to him one at a time. You know, don't sit here and put all this stuff on this man and try to think that he's supposed to be so perfect that he can just fix it all at once. No. You get what I'm saying? Like, we really have to, again, keep it simple and not lower our expectations in a sense of selling yourself short, but don't put this big grandiose expectation on something, and when it fails, I know for me, I use it as gratification that I wasn't worth it being for me, that I wasn't good enough for it. And the whole time you made this unrealistic goal or this unrealistic vision, and all you had to do was break it down. So my video is getting a little long, but again, no matter what you're doing, and even I want to talk about, it was one more thing, I'm sorry, but kids, with our children, I don't have children, so you can go ahead and mute out if you don't want to hear that part. But like, even with our children, keep it simple. You can't expect these babies to become exactly who and what you want them to be overnight. It's not going to work. If you are having problems with your children, figure out one thing that they can work on, one thing that they can, get some footing with, and then help them learn the next thing. But again, don't overwhelm them. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overwhelm your relationships. No matter what you have going on, keep it simple, keep it cool, and I promise you all that shit is going to flow. Thank you so much again for listening today. I'll see you guys later. Bye.